going on, guys? I'm Mike Pouncey, former center for the Miami Dolphins. I'm here with Coach Fred and my brother Marquise Pouncey, former center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let you guys know that Twin P is official liquor, the Common Man Podcast. Bottoms up, Twin P, best. Gotta drink some more.
What's up? What's up? It is your boy, man. We here with the drive at 5:30. As you know, I'm on the road in the Midwest. Our guest is coming from the West Coast. The producers in the South. So we kind of have them married all up to a time that works for everybody. Hope you guys enjoy the show we have planned for you. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you let your boys know, let your ladies know. Text them all right now that the drive at 5 is up and rolling, and we're about to get into it real quick. As we know what's coming up, we got the draft the next couple days. A lot of names, a lot of expectations, a lot of hopes, a lot of dreams, all that stuff ride in the next couple days, man. And we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it over the next couple days. But we're going to start here with our guest, man. Comes from the great state of Florida. He is now calling the great upper Northwest home, but he is world renowned in the game of football. He is what we call an expert at what he does. He's worked with some big names. We're going to let him talk about that. But right now, we want to make sure that we give a big, huge welcome to my guy, Sack Sensei from the West Coast via Florida, all the way to Common Man Drive, baby. What's up? How you doing?
Hey man, Fred, I appreciate you having me, man. I'm blessed, dog. It's Christmas Eve, man. Like you said, it's the eve before the NFL draft, man. And man, I'm super excited. Year to year, you know, growing up, man, this is something, you know, we've watched as children, you know. So every year, man, it's crazy because it never seems to get old. I'm always just excited year to year, you know, to see these guys get these great opportunities. So I'm excited, man. I couldn't ask for nothing more. It's been a long pre-draft process, which pretty much starts like December, beginning of January, and we're finally at this point, man. So I'm elated to get this thing rolling, man. It's going to be a lot of great moments. On the other side of that, it's going to be some guys who, you know, who may not fall where they land, but that's the name of this game, man. So I'm just here to support these guys, and I'm super excited to be a part of their journey year to year.
As we get into it, man, just kind of back it up. I'm going to let you kind of give a backup intro, as I don't want to kind of get into it just yet. I want to build to it.
Sure.
As to who you are, what you do, and how you became who you are. I met you about a couple years ago through good friends, mutual friends, and you know, after following you and seeing, you know, your plight and what you do, it just became one of those deals where it was like, okay, I got to talk to him. I hit you up, you hit me right back in the DM type thing. And then we exchange numbers and we kind of go from there. And then, you know, I always say in the sports world, when you get to talking, it's really a small, small world. And to find out that, you know, you are from the great state of Florida as well, just took it to a whole nother level. I became a real huge fan. I was already a fan, became a real huge fan once I learned that part. And then the mutual friends, which I'll let you talk on a little bit, they added their little hot sauce to it as well, as to bringing my memory back to you. Oh, yeah, we used to dominate that guy back in high school, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, as we get into it, man, just kind of a chance for you to introduce yourself, and let's start to peel back this onion.
No, most definitely, again. So, again, I appreciate the introduction, man. A little bit about me. My name is Javon Gopie. I am an NFL consultant. Man, football and sports has been a part of my life, my entire life. And so it's really a part of who I am. And that's fun. I got to go right to what you said first about Mike and those guys, right? So I'll never forget, that's my first time meeting them. This might have been 2006. But yeah, about 2006 maybe. I believe they were 2 years older than me. So I was class of 2009. They might have been 06 or 07. I'm not sure, but I know they were older than me. And we didn't have social media then, but it was a lot of buzz around the twins from Lakeland, the Ponces. You see what I'm saying? And where we from, especially in Florida, we natural haters. So you tell me somebody else good, I'm like, nah, they ain't that good. I got to see it for myself. So we had the opportunity to meet these guys at Down and Dirty. It's a lineman camp that they used to host out in D-Land, Florida. And man, when I tell you we had battles with those guys, we had battles. Like it went like it was wars. So it was some funny times, man, some good times, some real competition. So hey, shout out to the gang, man, Mike and Marquise. They some great guys, man. Not only on the field, what they did, but who they are as men today and what they do in the community is phenomenal, man. So shout out to those guys, man. Hey, but I ain't gonna say, they knocked us around. Sometimes I think it's a little more even than what they remember, but but nah, hey, anyway, it was good times, man. Good times, and that's where the journey started for me. Like I said, I'm an NFL consultant. My role with the NFL is I lead the development on how we evaluate defensive linemen. So we do that by creating new metrics, standards, and essentially my goal is to kind of change the narrative on what a pass rusher is, right, or a defensive lineman. Football has come so far over the past, really 10 years, but really 20, 30 years. It's come so far, and the position has changed. So my goal, when it's all said and done, I want to see just the narrative behind what it takes to be successful as a defensive lineman. I want to see that change a little bit because the metrics and the standards have been the same for the longest. Like, for instance, the NFL Combine started in 1982. And for the most part, the drills and the metrics that we measure players have not changed that much. Position-wise, that they've done some different drills over the years that's kind of been more specific. For the most part, it hasn't changed too much, man. So that's my goal. I want to continue to just, change the narrative on how we evaluate so we can just continue to put these guys in the league, man. They can go out there and earn a great career living for themselves and become Hall of Famers. So, again, I love what I do, man. Like I said, my journey started really my first time playing the position. I was always a natural teacher by trade. Like I was a guy standing after practice in high school with my fellow defensive linemen. I was a guy before game day sending out text messages to our defensive unit and just talking through our keys for the next day and us visualizing success. So when I think about where I am today, it's something natural that I've always done really for the past 20 years, man. So I love it. It never feels like work. You already know, Fred. Like this is us working with athletes, staying in this game of football is, man, it's the greatest job on earth for us to develop these young men. So for me, it's so much bigger than the between the lines and the grass. Again, I'm a natural teacher, and I really just want to continue to motivate and inspire. And I found myself using this platform to do so. So, man, I love it. Every day is never a job. I'm always excited to work, and I tell people this all the time. A lot of people ask me where I got started, how did I gain the success? And I think what hasn't changed is I attack the game. I attack, my niche and what I do now the same way I did as a player. I always wanted to be the best. I always was first guy in, last guy out. Always held myself accountable. So nothing has changed now. Every scene that I show up in, I step into character. I'm here to, leave a mark. And again, ultimately, just continue to see this craft develop, from years and years to come, man. So, yeah, a little bit about me: football, defensive line, anything defensive line throughout the NFL. It's pretty much gonna come through me. And outside of that, I have a sports performance company, and we work with youth all the way through professionals, all catered exclusively just to defensive line and outside linebackers. So, when it comes to being successful, production, when it comes to defensive line, it gets no better than coming out here in South Florida and getting ready to hunt. That's what it's all about.
So I want to go back because it's funny because the game has changed. Me and Zach were just talking about it before you got on, how there's like 11,000 plus kids in the portal since it first opened at the start of the start of the portal season.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said, I can remember coming down and working the whole, if you remember, now you were a lineman, but before the Down and Dirty, there was a skills camp. So there were 3 days of skill where it was basically just 7-on-7.
Yep.
Where you had quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends. You had linebackers, safeties, corners. And that was the 3 days.
Sure.
And then you have a break, and then y'all would come in, the down and dirty part of it.
Yep.
And I can remember one of the older coaches, he's long retired now, asked me to stay to work with the defensive lineman.
Okay.
Because he came, and I'm a receiver by trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he came a day early, and he was watching me teach release drills and things like that. And he's like, hey, I need a coach for defensive line play. And I'm like, what would make them listen to me? You know, I'm 175 pounds. I'm still playing, you know, a real ball, but I'm 175 pounds. Yeah. I'm yoked up, you know, sensei. But I'm not a D lineman. So I'm trying to figure out what the connection is. And then he kind of goes into it. Hey, you're going to have defensive ends. Just teach them, you know, arm over, rip, swim, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I never thought about putting that together. But once he got me there, you know, it was fun. And of course, Mike and Marquise, shout out as they're a sponsor of the show. I don't know if you caught the commercial at the beginning, but you know, they're a sponsor of the show. But they came in that last set and always made it fun because those kids were going to work, but they were also going to work after curfew hours, where you really had to kind of stay on your post to make sure none of y'all snuck out of the doors and went into town or wherever y'all was supposed to go. Right. But that's kind of the connection going back to you. But you came, you spoke at Alcorn State, man. Again, I'm beyond in your debt for that. Coming and you work with our kids. Still got that video up, man, where you turn the team room up. Had them going crazy in there for a little while. But to get into your story, and what we do here is we tie it into HBCU FCS football. You know, you become, you know, you get in, you put the work in, somebody notices you. I don't know who that is. I'll let you tell it. Somebody notices you, and they bring you into the fold. And once you get into the consulting side of it with the NFL, there's more things that you do rather than, you know, work on the field. There's more things, and you gave yourself the short part of it, but I'll let you kind of get back into it a little more here. But who saw you and who put you in position to be where you are?
Sure, that's a great question. So to start off with the position and then go into HBCU stuff, yeah, man, it was how it lined up. It was all God, man. You know, I couldn't have written that script any better. But my boss, so to say, Roman Oben, he's the vice president of NFL operations. That's who one of my reports, who I report to, and my mentor, Chuck Smith, he's the outside linebacker coach for the Ravens, and he was kind of stepping away from the position, the role that I have now. He was stepping away to go take a job with the Ravens. So he was the defensive line consultant before me, and he happened to reach out to me maybe the day that he took the job, and he was like, "Look, I'm taking this job with the Ravens. Just let you know, the floor is yours now. You know, I want you to, you know, take it and run with it and conduct yourself in the way that, you know, that you know, we see fit. And I'm gonna put you in front of a lot of people and, you know, let the chips fall where they may." So I had no idea what that meant in the moment when he reached out to me. And every spring break for the past 5 years, this is year 5 that we just completed, I host a college pass rush retreat. So all the college guys, you know, when they go on spring break, we host a retreat out of Miami every year. And it's a 2-day event where guys get to come out and get opportunities to get on the field and do some pass rush, some skill development stuff. They also get a chance to get in the weight room and also watch film. So it's a full 2-day thing where it's all defensive line and really just want to continue to develop these guys going into the spring. Roman Oben's son just happened to be a part of my event the week before I got the job, literally. So my mentor told me that he referred me to Roman because they needed someone else to fill the position. Roman called me. Roman said, "Hey, heard nothing but good things about you from Chuck. Not only did Chuck, you know, give me the green light, but my son was also a part of your pass rush retreat that you had last week. He loved it, man. So, you know, I have an opportunity for you if there's something that you know, would like to take a part in." And man, again, I couldn't have written that script. I couldn't have made that up. So I was just more than blessed and fortunate because I didn't even really know that there was opportunity in that space. Honestly, like I didn't know the depths of what it entailed and what the role, what they were looking for. But man, it's one of the greatest things to happen to me. I'm so blessed and fortunate to be a part of the NFL and to continue to, again, see this craft develop, continue to be on the highest stage and just help these guys reach their journey, man. So I couldn't be more than thankful with that. But also, like you said, one of the roles I have also, I am on the committee. I'm on the HBCU committee in respect to the Legacy Bowl and the HBCU Combine. So I am one of the guys who evaluate defensive linemen, and I make the selection on who will be a part of the Combine. So that's something, man, when I tell you it's so dear to me being a former HBCU guy, to just be in this place means so much because first and foremost, representation matters. Like, it's so important, especially, in the world that we live in today in society. Like, representation is so important, man. So me just being in that space is very important to me. To just be able to help these young men have another opportunity to get drafted. I mean, we all know it's cliche, but we all know the stigma when it comes to HBCU football, and it's so unfortunate because a lot of these guys don't get a proper evaluation. So me just being a part of that journey and helping these guys get their foot in the door is, man, I couldn't ask for more, man. I'm a servant by trade. I love to serve people. So this is just another capacity for me to do so. So I love that opportunity, man. We had a great event this year. This was year 4 HBCU Combine out in New Orleans. So I'm excited, man. We got some guys who are there who will show up in the NFL draft over the next 2 days, next 2 or 3 days. So I'm super excited about that.
And just to toot my own horn, the HBCU Combine is my baby. I put that together. This is a true story. I see you smirking, but this is a true story. Mm-hmm. I put that together sitting there on the campus of Alcorn State University.
Okay.
We had a mishap where a lot of our kids, because we had prospects, one who actually played in the NFL for about 4 years before he had a foot injury, DeLance Turner, shout out to Lance. Those guys went to a workout at another university in Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
So when it was time for our pro day, no one came, right? So we had one kid, and it still haunts me to this day, who I thought was really good and had an opportunity to at least put his numbers in front of CFL people, whatever. So as I speed the story up, I get on the phone with one of my guys who's connected to Coach Prime. True story, Joe. This is a true story. And I fly out to Dallas, and I sit in the gym, and I sit there and I pitch it to Coach Prime, who was really connected to Under Armour, and get back with you. I like the idea, Coach. I'm gonna help you push it. And it didn't make that next year, but the year after that it made, but it was the COVID deal, and it was in Alabama. I'm not sure if you had fell into it yet, but it was in Alabama. It was outside. It was cold. It was raining. It was a mess. And then after that, it got better. But the moral of that story is they never came back and at least gave me a T-shirt, pair of shoes, workout.
I gotta get you a shirt, Fred.
They gave me nothing. And I got the documentation. This is my baby. But anyway, as long as it's happening, I don't care. But I had to tie it in again, just so you know. But again, and I missed you because you were off to another event in New Orleans. I got there, you had already took off. But if you could just speak to the people that are here and listening, when it comes to the HBCU Combine, how that's ran from the minute they step into the hotel until it's over. If you can kind of give us a peek behind the curtain on what all goes on there.
Sure. No, it's a phenomenal event that they've scaled year to year. Like you said, every year it's gotten better. And our goal is to really be able to give these guys top A1 experience. Like, we want these guys to feel as if we're in Indy. This is the National Football League scouting combine. We want to give that experience because they deserve it. You can't select the talent you play against. You get on the field, you dominate, and that's a true testament to just success, man. Like, you You don't never care about who you're going against. As long as you go out there and dominate, that's what matters. So, no, year to year, man, they've scaled this event, and again, it's a phenomenal experience, and that's our goal. Year to year, we want to just continue to find ways to be more effective, more efficient, to give to add more value to these guys. But again, the experience is so important for us, man, and it's A1. Like anything that has an NFL shield on it, you can imagine is going to be the best of the best. From the food, from what these guys are eating, the top of the line. They're not sitting around eating pizza and stuff. Preparing for this one of their biggest events. But from the chef, from the catering to the amenities and the facilities, it's all phenomenal, man. So I'm very pleased to see where this initiative started and where it's grown over the past couple of years, man, and I want to just continue to see it grow. But it's A1. It's top of the line, and again, year to year, just going to continue to get better. I'm not sure if it was last year it was aired live on NFL Network, which is phenomenal, man, to give these guys live NFL coverage, and to get people to know who they are, and because again, there's so much talent in this division of football, but again, there's just not much coverage. So just continue to bring light to, this talent is just something that we want to continue to do, man. So now it was a great experience, man. And hey, it's New Orleans, dog. Like you can't not have a good time in New Orleans. You see what I'm saying? Like, so now they put it in the right place. When you talk about our culture, man, it gets no better than that experience. And it's crazy because it's typically around Mardi Gras. So the city's always lit, man. Every year it's either the week before, the week after. Like there was one year where it lined up on the same week. Which was crazy. You see what I'm saying? So, but no, it's all love, man. So I definitely love to see how this thing is continuing to grow year to year.
Man, from my notebook to being scheduled around the same time as Mardi Gras is absolutely crazy. But did you make the skip over from the Senior Bowl to the Legacy Bowl? Because I can't remember how.
No, I didn't do Legacy this year. Because I have a pre-draft group also, so I couldn't stay away too long, man. So I did not stay for the Legacy game, but I worked with the guys throughout the combine, and then the last day of the combine, everybody gets bussed over, head over for Legacy practice. So yeah, I got out of there at that point.
And in your professional opinion, for anybody that's listening that may know someone that gets invited to this game next year, that gets invited to this combine next year, in your professional opinion. And this is just your opinion. If you don't want to give it, you don't have to. Do these kids need to participate in everything?
Yes, yes. And that's been a conversation that's had year to year of how we can keep guys more engaged and involved. But ultimately, like at the end of the day, we playing football, and what we do in football, we compete. And scouts want to see guys come out here and compete, man. So for anybody who's chimed in or listening, whether it's parents or actual athletes, go out there and compete. There's something that you got to earn, which is called leverage. And a lot of us got to be real with ourselves in respect to, who we are, what position we have. But no, man, it's so vital and imperative for these guys to go out there and actually compete, man, because again, we know the stigma that comes around the level of play. So you want to give yourself the best opportunity, to showcase yourself. And again, you don't have to run a fast 40. Like, it's not about that. It's not about the number, so to say. A lot of the time, scouts just want to see who you are as a player and how you prepare yourself. You see what I'm saying? And yes, it is challenging and it is hard, but I'm telling you that's a part of football that they want to see. So no, man, it is so imperative. I'm glad you asked that question. It is so imperative that we get out here and attend this event, and not only attend, but go out there and participate, man, because I encourage every year, the top HBCU guys. And it's nothing to do with which event, bigger, better, but I think the top HBCU guys should stay and participate in the event. Some of them go to Indy, I get it. But again, the whole point of putting this initiative together was to give these guys more light and, to be on a stage where you got all 32, it's huge. And, and honestly, you got all 32 guys. I'm sorry, you got all 32 teams out there. And if you're the guy, you're going to be the guy no matter where you are, So, again, I want, guys to not run away from competition, to not run away from fear of what can happen, but to kind of lean into it, man, and take advantage of these opportunities. Because I'm telling you, you go out there to the HBCU Combine and you dominate, you got opportunity. And I seen it firsthand, man. Shout out to Elijah Williams. I had an opportunity to work this kid out this year at HBCU Combine, and man, this dude is a dog. Like he's from the DMV, and you can see it. Like he wear it on it like that. It ain't on him, it's in him. Like he's one of those guys, man. And Elijah Williams dominated. He dominated HBCU football, and he went out to the HBCU Combine, did every drill, and man, he helped himself out, and he will be selected. I can almost bet my money on him, man, that he'll get an opportunity to play in this league within the next couple of days, man. And he's just a testament to the position, to the level of play, and really betting on himself. And I think that's so important.
Hey, B, my producer for the show, my homeboy, my co-host on another show, is really high on him. B, you want to come in and talk about him just a little bit?
Yeah, if he's not drafted, like, I don't know if he'll be drafted because I've heard the buzz, and I don't know if you know him, man, but my guy Gerald Huggins is the DFO GM up at Morgan State, man. That's my guy.
Yeah.
We work on our draft rankings for the website, the show, and I don't know if he'll get drafted, but I'll say this: out of all the HBCU prospects, I would put the most money on him being a lot to make a roster next year, an active roster. He's that good, and I've been covering the Legacy Bowl since the first year it started.
Okay.
Elijah Williams had the most dominant week I've ever seen in person, from day one to the final day, and even to the game. He could have. I mean, there's guys who look like they don't belong there. He could have went to the Senior Bowl and been doing up to P4.
I agree.
Guys, I mean, he has everything, and I heard the knock was arm length on him. I know you're the expert on D linemen. Seeing him up close in person, watching the film for 3-4 years, I don't care what his arm length is. That kid's an NFL prospect.
No, sure. You hit it on the head, man, and that's something. Again, my goal is just continue to shift the narrative. But man, defensive linemen and pass rushers come in all shapes and sizes. You got Myles Garrett and you got TJ Watt. Two completely different body styles, both dominant at what they do, getting after the quarterback. So, no, I agree, man. It's the scouts' jobs are to create metrics, and there's a standard that everybody lives by. But no, man, Elijah Williams, I can bet he'd make somebody's squad for sure. I don't doubt that. The kid's phenomenal. He plays the position the right way. He's mean between the lines, and he's consistent, and I think that's one of the biggest things. To be dominant is to be consistent, and like you said, over the past 3 years, he's showcased his dominance. So I'm a fan. I'm super excited to see Elijah Williams play on Sunday. So we'll see where the chips fall, man. I'm excited to see how this thing turns out within the next 3-4 days. So I'm excited about that. But no, he's a dog for sure.
So with what you've done, and we'll start on the consulting side before we get to the grass side of it. So with the consulting side, what's your main focus with that part of the job?
So right now what I'm working on is I want to continue to see, again, create new metrics on how we evaluate. One part of it is throughout all of the different combines. Like we have an international combine that we do every year out in London. We have obviously the NFL Combine, HBCU Combine, the Big 12 Pro Day. So I want to continue to see some of the metrics change in the drills. So that's what I'm working on now, just trying to create some data around some drills that I think, translate from the position, and just continue to see that grow. I want to see that implemented. And again, the big picture is I want to change what we evaluate, because like I said, the position has changed drastically over the years. So I kind of just want to be a little more modern, which will help out the Elijah Williams and those things. Because again, it's never been about being 6'4", 300 pounds. Like that's cute, but it's a lot of 6'4", 300 pound guys who can't get after.
Just don't cut the mustard. Yeah.
It's plenty of those, man. Plenty.
Just don't cut the mustard.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you off the subject, but when you go back to that one in London and you need somebody to kind of carry your bags.
Hey, I'm with it. You been in London before?
Nah. Not till we go next year.
No, hey, I'm gonna hold you to that. Hey, it's good vibes, man. I'll tell you this. It caught me off guard a little bit because the food wasn't what I thought. Like their traditional dish in London is fish and chips, and that wasn't it. It wasn't what I expected. But we did find some good food in the city. But yeah, that's their traditional dish, like fish and chips. But
I'm all about Long John
it's a little
Silver's.
different, dog. They eat baked beans for breakfast. Threw me off a little bit, and it ain't our baked beans. It ain't no barbecue baked beans. So yeah, it was a little different. But it was a great experience, man. Every year we go out there, it's always phenomenal.
That's different. Now when we talk about the on the field stuff, and you talk about what you do with that. So you get there, and Elijah Williams walks in the hotel, and now it's time to get it on. What does Saxon say do at that point?
Man, so I try to really every year, whatever event I'm a part of, whether it's the Indy, whether it's a Big 12 product, I try to like educate my group as much as I can because I want to give them the best opportunity to look flawless going throughout these drills. So I try to sit down and talk through technique, talk through mindset, talk through spacing. But I really want to give my guys the best opportunity to come out there and showcase themselves because I mean, this is the biggest job interview of our lives. We've spent our whole lives for this opportunity, and I really just want to have them prepared as best as possible. So that's one thing I love to do. Day one, I want to get to know the guys a little bit, talk a little trash, get to get to know where their head is. And one thing I love to tell these guys, like, don't come out here with a stick in your ass. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are there and they're uptight and they're nervous, but I'm like, there's no scouts or GMs or executives who's telling you all to be quiet. Treat this like practice, right? Come out here, communicate with each other, be loud, bring the energy. Like that's one thing I love to stress every year, dog, because again, that just helps us feel more comfortable in this evaluation process. So I love to get to know the group, love to get to know the group a little bit. I love to continue to educate and again, give as many insights as I can to give them opportunity to go out there and dominate what we do. And then from there, once the lights are on, it's game time. Like I said, I grew up as a thespian, right? I was an actor in my younger life. We did it all, man. We did tap dance. I did chorus. I sang for about 8 years, did drama. So, that was always something we did. We had to go into character. So I treat it the same way, dog. When I get out there on the grass in this NFL combine, I'm going into character, talking to myself a little bit. And, I really just want to give these guys a show and give them the best opportunity to be successful. So me bringing the energy, me educating them, all that's so important, man. So I just try to find new ways every year, every event to just give these guys the best shot to thrive. That means everything to me.
And from your point of view, and this is part of the consulting part of it, and you've been to where I work at, you've been to the level that I work on, you've been to the D2 level as well. And the old saying is, if you can play, they'll find you. But that's being flipped upside down. Mm-hmm. But I fight that because I still say if Coach Fred is the man, somebody's going to find me, and then it's going to be all over that, hey, they got a kid down there that you probably need to see. Sure. Can you dispel that myth that you need to go where it's brighter to be found?
No, and like you said, it's so cliche, but think about it. Like, if you're the guy, why not be the big fish in the small pond? Why not? Because again, at the end of the day, like you said, if you can play, the one thing that I've always used as a metric for guys who are great, right? And I'll use Shedeur as an example. And again, it was so much bigger for him leaving HBCU, going to Colorado with his dad. Everything was a lot bigger than that. But like Shedeur in high school, who you see today at Colorado, Shedeur did the exact same thing in high school. He did the exact same thing at Jackson State, and that translated to Colorado. And that's one thing that I see with the guys who are successful. They dominate on every level, no matter level of competition, no matter who it is. So like you said, at the end of the day, if you dominate your opponent, it does not matter where you play, because there are guys I tell people all the time, there's a sliding scale when it comes to getting drafted in the NFL. You go to a smaller school, you need production over a long period of time. You go to a bigger school, you may not need as much production, but you got to have the measurables. Like it's a lot that goes into it. But I think that it's so important to understand, no matter where you land no matter where you land, if you don't dominate, you're not going to go to the pros. You can go to Alabama, Florida State, Marshall. If you don't dominate, you will not go to the pros. So don't let these people fool you into thinking you have to be at a big school to go to the NFL, because it's not true. You're always going to be evaluated off of your film, right? The name of your school does not give you an opportunity to go to the league. It may bring more scouts there, but at the end of the day, you can have 32. You can have all 32, but if you don't dominate, you will not be drafted. So it's a big myth. And, I'm with you, man. I was a former HBCU guy. I attended Lane College. So, like I said, HBCU is dear to me, man. And I want to continue to help change and shift that narrative, because I agree. It don't matter where you play. All that matters is you dominating, and it has to show up on film. So, again, if you go to Mount Union and you dominate, you will have opportunity. Like, Bill Belichick and the Patriots for years would take D2, D3 guys in the second and third round for years, and they've always had success because they weren't drafting off of numbers and names. They were drafting off of skill and talent, man, and mindset. So as long as you got the mindset, as long as you got the skill, as long as you got the talent and the will, man, you can go to any school in the country, man, and get an opportunity to play in the pros. But you have to believe that. If you don't believe it, you won't go. And I think that's where it's so big. And that's why I love what you do, and I love everything that you guys stand for, because guys got to continue to bet on themselves and not put it in someone else's hands for them to get drafted.
And in case in point, a guy that you work with, Jared Verse, he dominated at UAlbany, and he takes it up a level, and he dominates in Tallahassee. But I still say it may not have been the first round if he stays at UAlbany,
Sure.
but he still gets drafted.
Sure.
And he goes to the Rams, and what does he do? He dominates. So it's like you said, I don't care if you're at a 1A high school. When they put the film on that 1A high school, you need to stand out.
Yeah, sure.
You leave that 1A high school, you go to Lane. When they put Lane film on, you need to jump off the tape.
Sure.
You leave Lane and you go get the bag at Tennessee, and you don't jump off the tape. I mean, what are we doing now? You know what I mean? You took all the guesswork out. At least if you stay at Lane, and this may sound crazy to say, but at least if you stay at Lane and you continue to dominate, you at least fooled them long enough to get into camp, and now you got half a shot.
Very true.
Know what I mean? As to where what we're dealing with now, Joe, is that a lot of people are taking the quick bag. And it's not like they're going to get the $1 million bag. It's not like they're going to get the 6-figure bag. A lot of guys are leaving us to go get $3,000 for 6 months.
Oh man,
and hope on it. You know what I mean? Those type of bags. Not that $500,000 bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? $35,000 for 6 months. That ain't lasting the next 6 months. It may last the next 6 months, but you're not gonna make it a calendar year with $35,000, and you're still buying a pair of shoes every week, $200 jeans, and that's what we try to tell the kids, man. So in the consulting realm of it, do you ever touch on any of that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, man. That's because again, like I said, it's so much bigger for me than the grass. So I mentorship is a huge part of this, and just getting guys to kind of shift their paradigm and how they view this thing. Because again, like you said, if you got opportunity even to make the $3,000, you can't be making $3,000 NIL deal, and then now you buying Chrome Heart, $250 pair of socks. You see what I'm saying? So I hate to see the lack of financial education that we may have in our culture, man. And that's something that's so important to me, is just continue to educate. So every opportunity I get, like my children, they tell me, like my daughter, like, okay, Dad, because any chance I get, I want to educate on something that's important. So no, I'm big on that, man. Any conversation that we can have. Like one thing I do with my pre-draft guys every year, I have one of my pros come in week to week and just drop knowledge, whether it's a former athlete, somebody that's currently playing, but just really give these guys some insight on how to continue to work to be a pro, and then what it takes to be a pro when you get there and how you stay there. But, just again, like you said, being educated, and understanding, everybody ain't making $30 million a year when you get to the NFL. So again, just aligning your priorities, is so important, and living within your means, because we see it all the time, man. Guys get there, they go broke, and that's the reality. So I try to use every opportunity that I can to kind of educate and mentor these guys and put them in front of people. Like, we got a whole ecosystem, that we just funnel these guys through with financial advisors, the whole nine. So that's something that's always important to me, for sure.
And that's something I'm gonna get with you offline, as we've got to talk in passing before this day about that I'm gonna get with you offline and connect some dots and weave some things. So my biggest thing to a lot of guys is that when you and I were coming up, there was only one way to get to the league, and that was a player.
Yep.
But there's so many more jobs. There's so many different ways to get the shield on your shirt that I think we don't tend to see, know, or even understand. So the importance with, you coming on with the HBCU background, coming from an HBCU, but you get NFL checks. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I want to make sure that, I give you an opportunity to speak on, is that there's all levels, not just playing level, but there's all levels to get involved and to be under the shield. Sure. And I think for us, we need to be better educated on that. But just kind of, some of the things that you've seen job-wise, just different avenues to get into the league.
Sure. No, you hit it on the head, man. Again, representation is so important. And, I pride myself into having this role and continue to represent, not only for just our culture, but, minorities in general, and knowing that, like you said, there is opportunity outside of the grass. Like, that was always a dream for all of us playing this game. And for some, we get the opportunity, for some, you don't. But there is opportunities to continue to represent the shield and to be a part of this game that we all love. So no, and I think the NFL, we do a great job. We have a handful of initiatives where we go out to different universities and talk about exactly what you're saying. Now, I think you might have just struck something for me, because I think we got to dive a little deeper into who we having these conversations with. But they do a great job, and they have some initiatives of getting out to universities and getting in front of these athletes and talking about life after football and other opportunities to still be a part of this game. So it's continuing to grow, but you hit it, man. Representation is so important, and there's so many things that you can do to still be a part of this great game that is not whether a coach or a player. Like, I'm so torn at times, because I want to get back into coaching, and I will. At some point, I'll have a room, and I want to be a coach on somebody's club. That's a goal of mine that I will check off at some point. But man, I love what I do now, man. I'm in the sun. I'm sorry, I'm not in the sun. I'm in the AC. You see what I'm saying? And I don't got to work as hard, man. So I love it. But no, man, it's so important. And I think, like you said, just being educated and aware of what's out there is important. So I think, I suggest to all players, whether you're the top whether you plan on being a top 30 pick, or, you really don't have opportunity, but football expires for everybody at some point. So I think really diving into what other opportunities that are out there is so important, because, again, I love what I do, and it aligns with who I am. And there's so many opportunities out there, for us as players to get into this. So really just wanting more, and not getting so caught up on the transition and the pivot. I love what Ryan Clark and those guys do, with their show with the pivot, man. They talk about just, how they had to maneuver once football and sports ended. And that's so important, man. Life is all about pivots. So I think, that's something that we have to educate our young athletes on, and knowing that you're going to have to pivot. So just having a safe space that you can go and educate yourself, learn, not be judged, not, feel that people are attacking you for not being successful, or whatever the case may be, in the game. Because, I got a soft spot for those guys who go to the league and they're labeled as a bust, because at the end of the day, everybody plays this game for different reasons. Some people want to put on the yellow jacket. Some people want to feed their family. So we should never judge somebody for, how it turns out for them, because if they fed their family and that was their goal, that's what matters the most, not, how they impacted the stat sheet every week. So yeah, man, it's so important. So, you know, for all the listeners there, again, there's so much opportunity, you know, in this game. So, you know, be open-minded. That's the first part. Really be open-minded. But again, continue to attack this thing like you did, you know, when you were playing on the grass. And, you know, that's being resilient and wanting to learn, being coachable. I think those are huge.
So as we get ready to wrap it up, man, some of the past names that you work with that's in the league right now.
Oh man. It sounds like I'm reading off a list if I name them, but man, I'm so blessed.
Name drop. Let's go. Name drop. Let's go.
I'm so blessed and fortunate every year to work with these group of guys, man. Like, this is what I'll say. I did not create the system that we teach. Chuck Smith created the system. I inherited it.
Shout out to Chuck.
And there's been so many successful defensive linemen who's gone through this system that, you know, we've collectively had opportunity to work with really over all these years, man, from Von Miller, Max Crosby, Greg Russo, Micah Parsons, Grady Jarrett, Javon Hargrave, Larry Ogunjobi. Man, the list goes on. And I don't even want to start and miss people because they're gonna be like, dang, you ain't give me no shout out. And I get that all the time. But man, I'm so blessed and fortunate to be like one of my guys, man, that is dear to me. And, you know, he went through so much over these past 2 years, Bradley Chubb, man. That's one of my guys. I'm so excited to see him finally get back out there, you know, this season and hunt. But, you know, like Chubb he's a phenomenal person, let alone football player. So, and another one, Jalen Phillips, like both of those guys went down 2 years ago. And, you know, they're pretty much closer to getting back healthy, but those are my brothers, man. And I love those guys, and I want nothing more than success for them. But man, I've been just so fortunate over these years to work with so many phenomenal players, you know, whether they're rookies coming into the draft or they're vets like my dog, John Jenkins. John Jenkins been in the league, 12 years now playing for the Raiders. Like John Jenkins and I played high school football together, and he's still playing. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I'm just so thankful, you know, to be a part of these guys' journey. And when it's all said and done for me, I just want to be known as one of the pioneers who kind of innovated and elevated this craft, man. So every year, you know, we host an event out in Vegas. Cam Jordan, Von Miller, Max Crosby, and, you know, it's all of the top pass rushers from across the NFL. So, you know, whether we in Vegas, whether we in Miami with it, man, we all got the same goal. You know, rankings put us against each other. AFC, NFC put us against each other, conferences, but, you know, we all have the same goal, and that's getting after the quarterback. So we just want to continue to build community, you know, within what we do. And again, I'm just so gracious to have the opportunity to be a part of these guys' journey.
When is the deal in Vegas?
Say it again.
When is the deal in Vegas?
It's typically end of June. This year it will be, I believe, June 21st. Don't quote me. I think it's like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday type thing this year. But yeah, June 21st. Yeah, you can definitely check those days. But yeah, June 21st, we'll be kicking it off for, this is year 8 or 9 of this Pass Rush Summit, man.
I want to come see it.
A great time. Yeah, it's always a great time, man.
I want to come see it. I want to come take notes. I want to come see it.
Yeah, no, let's do it. Let's do it.
Can you hire me for the 3 days? Can you hire me for those 3 days?
I got you. We'll make it happen.
$10 an hour. That's all I need. And some fish and chips.
Some fish and chips? Yeah, no, we'll make it happen, man.
Captain John. Captain
always a good time.
Cool. Some names that you're looking forward to being called or getting an opportunity.
Ooh, man, all the guys that I work with this year. But, man, so there's some guys I really enjoy working with this year, man. CJ West out of Indiana. I love CJ, man. He played the position the right way. He a funny guy. He bring a lot of energy to the room. You could tell he's gonna be a great daddy one day. Like he's a good guy, man. So CJ is somebody I'm excited for. I'm gonna drop a name that's gonna be a sleeper. And I met this kid in high school when he was in high school. He's a South Florida kid. You know, so we're from the same area. But Ashton Gillette. I may be saying it wrong. I've heard some people pronounce his last name Gillette. I call him Ashton. But out of Louisville, man, Ashton is going to be a sleeper pick. Don't be surprised Ashton Gillette falls in the first round. He won't go past day 2. I'd be surprised. But no, Ashton is a dog, man. A lot of people gonna maybe be on my head about this. Ashton is hand down one of the best defensive linemen to ever come out of South Florida. And I say that playing the position, growing up in the state, like not only myself, but all the guys who played this position in that state, it's a lot. But Ashton is one of the best to come out of South Florida, man. So I'm going to drop a name for you. That's somebody to look forward to in this NFL draft, and he's going to be a great pro for years to come. But, man, I had a phenomenal group of guys this year. Josh Farmer, that's my boy. He another Florida guy out of Florida State. He's from don't quote me. I don't want to say it wrong. They took me out there a couple weeks ago. He's from the Joe, they call it the Jungle, Port St. Joe.
Port St. Yeah. 75 side of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh Farmer, that's one of my guys, man. He's like family to me. He's hands down, in my opinion, top 2-3 best defensive tackles in this class. Florida State had a rough year, but they win one more game, we wouldn't be having a conversation of where he'd be drafted. No, Josh Farmer, man. Again, CJ, Cam Jackson, my guy out of Florida, Cam West. I'm sorry. CJ West, I already said the name. Both of the Cams I had, man. We had 8 guys in Indy this year. We had 8 combine guys. We had 14 guys total, man. So Elijah Ponder, Sebastian Valdez, Nate Matlock, Brody. All that I had a phenomenal great group of guys, man. Another guy, Zeke Biggers. Zeke is going to be another stud. He's going to be a great pro. Played at Georgia Tech this year. Defensive tackle, 6'5", 330, move like a cat. Zeke is going to be great, man. So I'm excited for all those guys. I hope I didn't miss anybody's name, which I know I did. But I had a phenomenal.
No, we just asked for a quick list.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at Saxon State. We just asked for a quick list. Don't get mad at it.
No, gotcha. But yeah, man, even the guys that I didn't work with, but that I worked with throughout this pre-draft at the combine, like Walter Nolan, he's going to be a stud. I'm excited to see Walter Nolan. Barron Sorrell, another one of my guys out of Texas. They're all going to be great pros, man. The NFL is in great hands. I will tell you that.
Man, so as we get ready to wrap it up, bro, one question from me. Anybody in the chat, you got about 30 seconds to put it in there before we let Saxon get back to his business. But when you come to these events, man, and I know it sounds this to people that are hearing the question, it may sound crazy, but to you it may not. Do you have to really get after these guys when they show up to work?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like I'm again, if you ask me, there's only one way to do it. There's only one way to do this thing, and that travels. Like how they say in basketball, or defense travels, or the run game of football. No, it travels, man. And again, I've never treated. You can be the first overall pick. You can be the Mr. Irrelevant. I treat everybody the same, because there's only one way to do this thing, man. And I set the level of expectation, and I try to set the standard every time we touch the turf, man. So always, I'm in their ass. I missed the one more rep. No, it ain't for everybody. I'll tell you that it's not. But again, success ain't for everybody. So I'm cool with that.
Cool. Hey, before we let you get out here, man, let everybody know how and where to find you at.
On all social media platforms, Sack Sensei, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Sack Sensei, SACKSENSEI. And I can be reached on any one of those platforms. We have a website, sacksensei.com, where you can book training, find out about upcoming events. I love to just get on here and just continue to add value to whoever's listening, man. So you got any aspiring defensive lineman, you are a defensive lineman, it's my pleasure to get an opportunity to work with you, whether that's in person, doing some Zoom calls and do some consultations, but however I can be add value, that's what I love to do.
Man, I appreciate your time, brother. I know it's a busy time for you. I know you're gonna have the notepad out, crossing names off, circling names over these next couple days, this weekend coming up. And again, we're gonna have to get you back after this and run it back. I'm gonna hit you offline, put some stuff together. And again, I appreciate it. Everybody over the internet heard you say you're gonna hire me for the Vegas event. So I hate to have to come back out here.
Hey, we're gonna make it happen.
Put it out there.
We're gonna make it happen.
So hey, again, man, Sack Sensei, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great evening.
what's going on, guys? It's Mike Pouncey, former center for the Miami Dolphins. This is my brother Marquise Pouncey, former center for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What's up, everyone?
This is our new cigar line. It's called Twin P. It also matches well with our bourbon whiskey. It's called Twin P as well. So if you like to smoke cigars and like to drink whiskey, I advise you get both.